Well, good evening, everybody. My name is Michael Stern, and I am speaking from the United States in Arizona, where it is about 1 o'clock in the afternoon or so. But welcome to iHub.global. And if you have never seen one of these presentations before, I want to sincerely welcome you to what I believe is an extraordinarily bright financial future that we're presenting here with this extraordinary opportunity. So when I first started learning about what we're going to be hearing about right now was back about 8 months ago in around August 2020. And an individual that I've known for a long time basically posed this question: hey, would you be interested in owning a piece of the world's largest wireless network? Now, I thought, well, yeah, it sounds pretty nice, but I want to know more. So we're going to be talking about something totally extraordinary, of which very, very few people are really aware of what's going on. And that has to do with something called the Internet of Things. Now, I had a little bit of an idea of what that meant. I knew it meant that there are various different kinds of devices and sensors that need to get their data to applications to make them smarter, more efficient, more cost effective, and they need to get their data to the internet to do that. But I had no idea of the scope of this. And there are literally tens, probably hundreds of thousands of different kinds of Internet of Things types of products and use cases. But when I started looking at this, I was shocked to realize that this was already an $800 billion global marketplace with over 8.4 billion devices connected to the internet. Now more devices connected to the internet than people. And even more so, hearing that over the next 4 years, it's going to exceed $2.4 trillion with somewhere between 70 and 80 billion devices connected to the internet. So we're talking about a massive market that practically no one is aware of that's taking place. So we decided that we were going to partner with building with the world's largest wireless network. It's a company called Helium. This is an extraordinary company. Back in 2013, it's a group of very, very professional, very smart entrepreneurs. They started looking at this Internet of Things arena, and they saw that it was growing exponentially, but in their evaluation, they realized there was one significant weakness, and that was there was no simple global platform that all of these IoT manufacturers and users could simply use. They had to create their own infrastructure to get their data to the internet, and that made it way more costly, way more time-consuming, and way more difficult for larger groups of people to onboard into this process. So they decided back in 2013 that they wanted to build this wireless helium network, a network that was specifically designed for the Internet of Things. And they're using a protocol that's become one of the main standards in the IoT manufacturers arena. It's called LAR, simply stands for long range. It's a radio network. It uses a radio frequency just a little bit higher than FM radio, so it's totally in the safe biological range. These units have a range of about 1 to 10 miles. So now there's hundreds of millions of IoT devices out there that are already transmitting their data to the internet, ready to go through this LARA network. So Helium decided to put together a LARA WAN radio network, MAN meaning wide area network, something totally amazing. And to do this, to get people like us to do it from a point of view of it being decentralized, not like one big tech company, is they created not only the device to allow this to occur, but they also created a cryptocurrency token and blockchain called Helium that was specifically designed for this particular project. So every one of these devices is on the Helium blockchain. So let's talk a little bit about kind of this concept. I'm going to just show this video. This is a result of some conversations that we've had with a few individuals that decided to host some of our units and how they saw the extraordinary aspect of this opportunity and decided to get on board with it. Now, this is actually a video that you're going to see that is part of a marketing funnel we're putting together for healthcare professionals.
Hi, I'm Dr. Scott Tunis, a board-certified ophthalmologist, a fellow of the American College of Surgeons, and I've been in active full-time practice for 36 years. Over that time, I've had a lot of people come to me with different business opportunities, and my response has always been the same: thanks, but no thanks. I'm busy doing what I'm doing already. However, when one of my trusted and loyal patients, who I have known for 20 years and done surgery on, introduced me to iHub Global and explained to me that I could earn helium cryptocurrency without purchasing anything simply by hosting a helium hotspot in my office, I had to investigate the opportunity.
The Helium Network is a community-based wireless network of hotspots that provide a cost-effective and secure way for the low-power smart devices to send data to and from the Internet, or the Internet of Things.
With iHub Global, I in fact discovered that I could host a helium hotspot in my office at no cost to me without ongoing maintenance, fees, or software or licenses, and I would in fact earn helium cryptocurrency. Now, as a practicing healthcare professional, I can tell you that no one has ever offered to put an income-producing piece of equipment in my office for anything less than $50,000, let alone for nothing. I also had the option at my discretion to purchase the hotspot for $400 at any time up to 90 days after installation, and then the percentage of helium cryptocurrency that I would earn would increase fivefold. But it would be my option. I could remain a host if I wished.
Consider the future integration of these rapidly evolving technologies, the expansion of telemedicine, the evolution of smart diagnostic equipment, the increased use of remote patient monitoring devices, the Helium Network and its ability to transmit data from smart devices far less expensively than cellular or GPS, a cryptocurrency linked exclusively to the tangible infrastructure of the Helium Network, and a passive income stream of helium cryptocurrency, which has appreciated over 4,000% in less than 1 year.
I thought I must share this opportunity, and the network is even more valuable when it expands. So I looked out my window and realized that my dentist is 2 miles down the street. She has a perfect location for a hotspot, and she'll understand this concept right away. So I had to tell her about it. I thought maybe she'll be interested, and maybe she won't. No sales pressure. But one thing I'm quite sure of, if I don't tell her about it now, in 5 years, she'll be asking me why I didn't. Oh, hi, Stephanie, right?
Hi, Scott. And yes, you're right about that. This is multiple cutting-edge technologies all converging into one perfect storm. So do what I did with the link below. Do your own research.
And thanks for watching.
All right. So again, that's a marketing funnel that we are going to be rolling out as part of several marketing funnels we do at iHub.global. So what is the business community and the world at large thinking about this idea? Well, Helium introduced their first product, or the product, in the summer of 2019. The first units got installed in December of 2019. And during that summer, Fast Company did an article where they considered helium being number 9 out of the 10 most innovative consumer electronic products 2020. Time did theirs in 2019, and they likened this hotspot to a miniature cell tower. Now, that's a very interesting analogy. They're not referring to this having anything to do with cell phones or the cell phone system, but it's an analogy that goes back to, in order for the cell system to become publicly available to the level that it's been, there was a massive infrastructure build of people investing tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars in cell phone towers. That was an enormous transfer of wealth that happened for people building that infrastructure. And that's the same opportunity we have right now. We've got this massive wireless network that's being developed specifically for the Internet of Things arena. And these units are what's necessary to build this infrastructure. But rather than tens of thousands of dollars for people having to have the investment ability, people can purchase these units for $460 and own a piece of the network. Decrypt magazine also talked about helium, how one of its founders was involved in the Napster program as a very amazingly forward-thinking individual. And then we got Fortune magazine talking about how major companies like Nestle and Lime Scooter are already shifting their IoT infrastructure to the Helium network. It is so far less expensive than what's currently available. So let's look at this from the point of view of what's in it for us. Why are we going to spend $460 for one of these devices? Again, there's no monthly fees. There's no licensing fees that it shows in that video. But once you get this thing and hook it up to your internet, it takes a couple of days for it to sync with the helium blockchain. And then it could be earning anywhere from 50 helium a month to 50 helium a day. And the variance basically depends on the number of other units that are within proximity where you are. The more your units are going to be generating helium in the proof of coverage process they do. So what are these helium tokens worth right now? Well, when they first started being exchanged in the summer of 2020, Pick a Crypto did an evaluation of the whole business model, and they thought that it was going to be able to exceed $5 a token before the end of 2020. Well, they weren't quite right on that. It was 403 in September, but they're predicting between 2021 and 25 for it to get to $40 to $80. And I was just looking at another evaluation another company did where they're talking by 2030 of it exceeding $1,000. Now, again, those are predictions from people that kind of are in the crypto space. Whether that's true or not will remain to be seen. But it's definitely a very, very exciting endeavor. Where is it right now? Well, a few days ago, it was at 1521. There was a big drop in cryptocurrency over the last 40 hours or so. It's currently bouncing between $13 and $16, kind of fluctuating back and forth. So we are definitely in the right place at the right time. Now, it already hit about $21 around the 7th of April. So it's already moving in that right direction. Now, I want to kind of refocus our attention on what we are at iHub Global doing relative to this whole project. What you've seen so far is looking at the helium community at large. We're doing something extraordinarily unique within the helium community, and that is that we've put together an affiliate program that highly leverages this opportunity. So we basically are using the name the iHub Miner. It's also the helium hotspot. But our units that we're working with are with the first authorized manufacturer for the helium hotspot. And our units are specifically provisioned with proprietary software that allows it to operate this extraordinary distribution model that I'm going to be sharing with you shortly. But let's just take a look at the helium opportunity as a whole. So first off, we're looking at something that, for all intents and purposes, acts as a passive income generator. And it does this independent of what's going on in the world of COVID, what's going on in the world economy. It's not a network marketing company. It's an affiliate program with an amazingly powerful structure to it. There's no recruiting that's required. You can completely build this on your own. But if you're looking to own a significant piece of this network that's being built, then you definitely want to avail yourself to sharing this information with other people who potentially might be interested in becoming an affiliate. Again, no monthly fees or auto ships. Once these things sync to the Helium network, then it starts generating helium tokens 24/7, 365. So our focus at iHub Global is essentially taking advantage of the power of leverage. I've been an entrepreneur in the networking space, in the direct sales space, various different business space for over 40 years. I frequently refer to this quote by J. Paul Getty where he said, "Hey, I'd rather have 1% of the efforts of 100 people than 100% of my own." Well, at iHub, we kind of took a little bit of a transition on this. What about having 5, 10, 15% of hundreds, thousands, or even tens of thousands of hotspots rather than your own, my partner Chuck likes to say. So I want to kind of just give you a brief snapshot of what we're talking about in our affiliate program, and then we're going to go take a look at some real world examples of what these units are doing. So essentially in the iHub program, we're dealing with 4 separate teams that we're developing. And these teams are all independent of each other. They're discrete from each other. As my partner Rick likes to say, they're in their own silo. The first 5 affiliates that you refer are going to be creating your pro team. You're going to be getting a 10% referral on what their units are generating. Then once you finish bringing those initial 5 and you start with your 6th through your 15th person, now you're building your bronze team. You're picking up an initial 5%, what we call a bronze code. Same thing happens with the next 10 in silver, where for that group, it's a 10% silver code. And then after your 25th person, you start building your gold team, and that's working with a 15% silver code. So let me just give one example here. Let's say, for instance, that you enrolled 10 people into this program. Now, by the way, it is totally free to become an affiliate with iHub Global, and you do not need to even purchase your own iHub miner in order to participate in the proceeds from our compensation strategy. So let's say that you enroll 10 people. The first 5 would comprise your pro team. The next 5 would comprise the first of your 10 people building your bronze team. So what happens as you start building your bronze team is where the extraordinary power of this program kicks in. As each person starts developing their own first 5 people in their pro team, that's going to start duplicating down the process in your bronze team, where those 5 that you brought in, they're going to share it with 5, who share it with 5, who share it with 5. Now, this is just an example. It's never 100% like this. And it doesn't just stop once you've got those 3125 there on your 4th iteration. It keeps going continuously over extended periods of time. It never stops. So let's use an example of one unit generating 25 helium tokens a week. If that was done for 52 weeks, that would be 1,300 helium tokens a year. So let's take a look at what that means for you. Those first 5 people, you're getting 10% of those 1,300 times 5. That gives you 650. For the bronze team, you're getting that extra 5 points. So now you're looking at 975 tokens from them. And if you were to add up those 25, 125, 625, 3125, that would equal 39 team members, of which you're getting that 5% bronze code on each and every one of those. So over the course of a year, that would represent 253,500 helium tokens on that portion alone. So let's just say that helium was only $10. Now, yeah, it's trading between 13 and 16 over the last few days, but just to make the math easy, let's say it's only $10. That would be over $2.5 million a year that would be generated by building a group of that size. So I want to show you a couple of actual units. And the reason I'm able to do that is because these helium hotspots are all publicly available in the helium blockchain. So let's take a look at some real world examples here. So what we're looking at here is an application that's built to query the helium blockchain. Again, the helium blockchain is public. All these devices are completely transparent. You can look and see what's going on with each and every one of those. If we wanted to, we could home in, zoom in, look at these devices, any one specific one. But right now, today, there's over 27,000, almost 27,500 hotspots that exist primarily in the US and in Europe, and just beginning to start to go into Southern Asia, where there's going to be a big push on that this summer and fall. Now, when I started looking at this in August, there were only 6,000 units. They were only in the US and Canada. There weren't any in Europe. That started in the fall of 2020. So this is moving very, very quickly already. So let's take a look at a couple of units. Now, this first area, we're going to take a look at a place called Vero Beach, Florida, where one of my partners in iHub is located. And he was doing a proof of principle on a building cluster system. When he started looking at it, there was not a single unit in the Vero Beach area. He bought a half a dozen to a dozen units and started finding hosts just like that individual ophthalmologist was talking about on that video. And so he built a cluster of units in Vero Beach. He owns all 7 of those units that you see there. And again, let's take a look, and let me just explain what you're looking at if you haven't looked at this. This handsome ivory gibbon, every one of these units has a cute little name that's derived from randomly picking from 3 different word lists. That's being shown in this map here as the white unit. These other units are nearby units that it's able to connect with, ideally within a mile or 2 of where that unit is for optimal connectivity. So those are the units witnessing. It's involved in those transactions, this proof of principle. And so we can take a look at the actual rewards that are being created. And this unit has only been online since April 6th. So it hasn't even been 30 days yet that it's been online. And it's already generated 225 tokens, generating about 19 tokens a day. So based on our plan, let's take a look if you can kind of think about this for yourself. Let's say that you're an iHub affiliate Whether you got a unit or not, it doesn't matter. And you knew this person in Vero Beach, Florida, that bought that unit. Okay. Now, in our plan, the person that bought the unit would be receiving 50% of whatever the unit was creating. So that means that they would be getting 112.50 as far as the number of tokens on that, a little bit more than that. And let's just say it was times 10, just to make it simple. It's going to be a lot more than that because we're already somewhere between $13 and $15. But that would be $1,125 that this person has ordered, and it's only been a couple of weeks, on a $460 purchase. So you sold that person, they're making over $1,200. What are you getting? You're getting 10% or more, but 22.5, 10 would be $225 that you've earned just for referring that individual. Now, let's say you're in a position where you took a big financial hit because of COVID, like so many people in the last year. Maybe you can't even afford to get your own unit yet. But, by the time this completes 30 days, you'll have made enough in this one individual alone to be able to purchase your own unit. Let's take a look at a couple of other units. This is one over in the London area. This is just south of the Thames. It's called the Strong Sand Chicken. You take a look at what this unit has earned over the last 30 days. It's earned over 800 tokens. Again, if that was a person that you referred, then those 805 divided by 2 times, let's just say $13, then that would be over $5,000 right now. $5,000 that person has generated off of what? Off of a $460 one-time purchase. And you, for referring that individual, you made 80.4 times 13. That's over $1,000 alone off of that one unit for referring that individual. Now, this number 804, that's on the high side. I believe the reason that this unit is generating such a large number is it's at a high elevation. Maybe it's on a high floor in a high-rise apartment building. That has the ability to do that. You can see it's connecting to units that are significantly farther than 10 miles. And then the same is true with this unit here in the center of Berlin, okay, the Tart Lime Lima. This unit generated over the last 30 days about 1,200 tokens. 1,200 tokens. I mean, you can do the math on that. This gets to be really crazy numbers. So I want to just ask this question one more time. How would you like to have 5, 10, 15% or more on hundreds or thousands or tens of thousands of other units that are out there? That is absolutely possible with the iHub Global Affiliate Program. So let me just finish off here in this presentation. So everything in our life is a reflection of the choices that we made in the past. So if you want to get a different result in life, then you need to make a different choice. But it's not just enough to make a choice. You have to act on that choice. I mean, how many of you had an opportunity to get involved with Airbnb, to get involved with Amazon, to get involved with Microsoft, with Apple, with all the big companies out there when their stock was so inexpensive in the beginning? Or maybe you heard about Bitcoin when it was really inexpensive. I heard about Bitcoin when it was less than $100, and I completely laughed at it. I'm not laughing now. So recognizing an opportunity and taking action is the key to making a different result in your life. So I want to thank you for taking a look at this presentation. Get back to who invited you to the presentation, get your questions answered, become an iHub affiliate for free, get yourself an iHub miner if you're living in a location where you can order those, and get started today.